Yeah, brand new intro. Worked on that one today to get it rocking and rolling. Here we go. Tennessee basketball tonight takes care of business 82-64. It's a game that was, and Tennessee got a challenge tonight for sure, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish on this one. And this basketball team, when it mattered in the second half, they took care of business tonight. Let's get into this thing. Make sure you hit that like, that share. If you like the content and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. At the current moment, we're at 2,459 subscribers. I'd love to get to 2,500 by New Year's Day to conclude the year. So much further than I expected this year. But, interesting day for Tennessee basketball. Released the video right before the game because I caught it when I was out. Cam Carr hits the portal. This literally makes no sense to me why Cam Carr hit the portal. I don't know everything. Obviously, it's going on behind the scenes on it. But on the surface, based on that he's been out hurt, so it's not like he's just been benched, based on everybody leaving, based on where it looks like his potential role was next year. This literally makes not a lick of sense to me. And it's not like he's going to transfer and play immediately. Anyways, he's going to, I guess, sit out for a little bit, transfer, sit out the rest of the year, and then play next year. Well, I'm speechless. You're playing for the number one team in the nation. Your role had increased. It was going to increase more when you come back and you hit the road. Yeah, I don't get it. I do not get it. But let's talk this game tonight. Let's not talk nonsense like that's nonsense. Absolute crazy. All right, Tennessee 82-64, second half. That's where this team absolutely, they took over the game at that point. On the box score, of course, first half Tennessee was down 40-34 at the half, but in the second half they outscored Middle Tennessee 48-24. A tale of two halves, no doubt. Middle Tennessee was red hot the first half. Second half, your Tennessee team really took over that needed to. Team comparison for the game, looking at the team statistics. Vols, 48% field goals, Middle Tennessee, 41. Three-pointers, Tennessee was 10 out of 22, 45%. Middle Tennessee, 9 out of 30. Free throws, Tennessee, 78%. That seems to be about the norm. Middle Tennessee, 50%. Both teams had 11 turnovers. Tennessee did win the rebounding battle 40-29. Second chance points, 9-8. Middle Tennessee did have 31 bench points compared to Tennessee 17. Tennessee won points in the paint 32-26. Middle Tennessee won fast break points 13-11. Tennessee had 4 blocks to 2 from Middle Tennessee. 7 steals to 6 for Tennessee. And then assists, Tennessee did have 19. Middle Tennessee only had 5 on the night. Beginning my analytics here on the night as well as there's some pretty interesting stats here as well. Let me hit some comments here also. I don't agree on. I'm going to come out of the gates on this one, not agreeing on this. Maybe we're not when it's all said and done, but I don't think that Middle Tennessee team was too bad tonight. They were 9-3 coming in, so we'll see how it is. Auburn's lost. Tennessee hasn't. I don't agree. Maybe they are. But I don't know. From what I see, Tennessee's still number one, and I'll still take that any day of the week for sure. Yeah, I agree with Papa J. Middle Tennessee, not a bad team. Out of the woods, what's going on, man? Glad to see you in here tonight. Every team looked looks good this year, ranked or not. This Middle Tennessee team looked good tonight, for sure. Rebecca and company says, not a sexy win, but still a win. Middle Tennessee stays a good team. I agree on that one. Brad Lipford, what's up, man? Hit that like button for sure. Yep, not good enough. Tennessee won out. They took care of business in the second half. T-Rex, listen to the post game on here tonight. He's going to update us on what Rick Barnes has to say. I appreciate that along the way as well. Yeah, let's don't analyze this thing. We're still unbeaten. We're number one. We're going to go into SEC play undefeated and ranked number one. Arkansas comes to town to start SEC play. I feel Tennessee wins that one at home. And we'll see where it goes from there as well. Number one team will get everyone's best effort, no doubt. And, anytime you play, you look at baseball, for example. Baseball, the teams are a little more evenly matched. And you see, especially those midweek games where it's, how many times? I know Tennessee Tech didn't beat Tennessee last year, but a couple years before that, Tennessee Tech had beaten Tennessee. ETSU, Middle Tennessee, all these teams that play Tennessee midweek, they're coming in to bring their best effort. This is big-time games for them because there's a lot of guys out there that go to these schools. They're upset Tennessee did not recruit them. So, yeah, I want to prove Tennessee wrong along the way. You're definitely going to get the best shot from these in-state teams when you play them, no doubt, along the way. Let's look at some more stats here tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see where we go. We got 58 in here now. Let me share out here a little bit more. It's a pretty funny post on Twitter from Carrie with Jemima Mashak in a float. I don't even know what in the world's in that. It's pretty hilarious. But let me share this thing out here just a little bit. Might even see myself watching myself type here. I have some dumb looks on my face here. So apparently I'm typing while watching myself. But Richard Patton says, go Big Orange, have a game, Ziggy. So let's get in some stats here. Let me pull them up here. Just a second. There we go. Hoop Central. Nope, not the one I wanted. Let me try that again. I want this one right here. There we go. Chaz Lanier, 23 points on the night. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, plus 19. Zakai, 17 points, 15 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, and 4 rebounds on the night. Zakai Ziegler may not be the best guard. Dane Bradshaw and the other announcer said it. He may not be the best guard in the country. You're not going to find a better leader. I don't think you find a better, pure, lead the team point guard than Zakai Ziegler. I really don't on it. He does so many things with the way he handles the ball. Yeah, he had 4 turnovers tonight, but still yet, 8 out of 9 free throws, 4 out of 8, 1 out of 5, 17 points, 15 assists. That's what I want a point guard to do. 17 points are just icing on the cake to me. With the point guard, we're not looking for Steph Curry. We're not looking for Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, any of these guys. We're looking for basically a distributor, a floor leader, a floor general. That is what Zakai Ziegler brings to this team. That's what he does every night. Plus 20 for him. Milicic, 7 points, 12 rebounds, 1 block, plus 23. Mashak, 6 points, 2 boards. No plus minus for him. I don't know if that's an error or what. Felix Okpara had 12 points tonight. Only 3 boards. I need to see more out of him in that regard. Dubar, 3 points, 2 boards, minus 10 when he was on the court. Jordan Gainey, 10 points. I thought he had some big buckets tonight, though. Cade Phillips had 4 points. They were back-to-back, alley-oops or dunks that he had on that. Your efficient guys on the night, Zakai Ziegler was your number 1 efficient dude on the night at 28. Chaz, 17. Milicic, 15. Akpara, 12. There's where you're at as far as your analytic scoring on the night. And this is a good basketball team. This Tennessee team's still going to have the ceiling for this team, I think, is a national title. Do they get there? I don't know. I mean, you cannot afford more injuries if you're Tennessee, though, especially after the inexplicable Cam Carr transfer tonight. I will always wish a guy best of luck wherever they go, but this one makes literally not one damn bit of sense. I'm just going to get right to the point. It makes literally no sense. Something's had to have happened behind the scenes, and that's total speculation on my part with it as well. Lanier was big tonight. Gainey had some big baskets. If Gainey's not the best sixth man in college basketball, I don't know who is. Yep, Chuck Black's weird night. Glad we won. Akpar right here out of the woods. Crud. Let me find here. Yeah, Felix went 4 out of 6 free throws tonight. That's pretty good. I mean, that's just under 70% for him. So I think you take that with him. 4 out of 5 field goals. Of course, most of his points that he scores around are going to be dunks. You might see some little layups or stuff. You're not going to see Akpara step out or anything. That's just not his game. We definitely need more post players for sure. The Estrella injury hurt. Dubar, we're going to need a lot from. Cade Phillips, we're going to need more from as well. This is authentic. The thing that pisses me off about, if this was all true about the Cam Carr transfer, is supposedly, and I know Tyson's not necessarily lighting it up at North Carolina, but just because you play at one place doesn't mean you couldn't excel at another. To me, on this, there were some that said that Cade Tyson, and I covered that in multiple videos back when the portal was open for basketball right after the season. There were people who said this was people, close to like that cover Tennessee 24/7. VolQuest said Tennessee could have had Cade Tyson. They felt Tennessee could have had Cade Tyson. And but there was a fear of losing Cam Carr to it. Well, that worked out great because Cam Carr's been out he's played 4 games. And I think in this day and age, if you can get a guy, you take him. You cannot, with how unreliable everything is right now with players and with this portal, I don't think you can afford to turn a guy away to try to keep a dude from transferring, because he might come up and transfer later. Case in point, Cameron Carr on this one. I just don't get it. I don't get that one at all. But, it is what it is. And let me hit some more here. Wish Akpara would stop getting drawn out to the 3-point line. Yeah, his job is, I don't know if that's a case of other guys are messing up on their assignments or what's happening, but yeah, his job's going to be to stay down low, get rebounds, and block shots. He's not a wing. Bob's right. Transfer portal has been ass to all Tennessee sports this year. I don't really think football is lost. I didn't like to see Jason Jenkins in. I didn't like to see Cam Selden enter. I thought Christian Harrison, I guess I'm going more on his dad and, how good his dad was in the pros. And I look at bloodline on it. But Jenkins, Selden are the two that bothered me. The rest, you got to do what you have to do. This Cam Carr one, though, it bothered me. It makes no sense at all. And, if it kept you from getting a guy who could contribute and be a part of your team this year because this staff chose that, and then you hit the road, I have a problem with that. I don't see it. I don't see the replacements. I know there was Stokes back under the Conzo Martin era. There was Vescovy back in 2020 with Rick Barnes. I don't see that right now. I've seen that addressed on VolQuest, and Rob Lewis, Grant Ramey have both said that they don't see anybody right now for them to get. It's a good question. It's a very good question. Do they explore that option a little bit more now that Cam Carr hits the portal? I think it bears watching. That could you watch it more at this point? Hey, what's up, Rhonda? Yeah, we definitely needed one tonight. Not a good first half, good second half for this team. Obviously, Saturday night was very rough. The Cam Carr news sucked today, but good win for this team tonight. They got punched in the mouth a little bit, but yet they overcome it. And that second half, 48-24, that's domination down the stretch, and that's domination when it counts. We've seen it numerous times. First half's great and all. If you don't do anything in the second half, it's irrelevant. This team took care of business tonight. Boswell out tonight. Doesn't seem to me that it's long-term. I hope it's not anyway. But, yeah, we're definitely going to – if he's not out long-term, we're definitely going to have him step up. There's no doubt about it on it. Yep, I agree with this one. Timing for football, at least Christian Harrison and Jason Jenkins waited till after the bowl game. This stuff with guys leaving before the season's over has got to change. It's got to change because in the case of Cam Carr, it's not like he's going to hit the road and go transfer somewhere and be eligible immediately. His decision baffles me on it. You're playing for the number one team in the nation. You've been out injured. Your role was increasing prior to that. Next year, with so many guys leaving, you're going to be a vital part of this basketball team, and you choose to leave when it's whatever, man. Just whatever. I don't have an answer for it. It's so illogical to me, but I'm not in his shoes either. He's got to do what he's got to do. Again, has something happened behind the scenes? I don't know, but it's a little crazy on that one as well. We got about 95 in here right now, about 20 minutes in. We'll see where we go here. We'll go at least 10 more minutes on it. This basketball team is looking at the road ahead. Let me pull it up here real quick. Had it up a minute ago and exited out of it. All right, here we go. So they've got they are off until New Year's Eve, December 31st. They play Norfolk State, 3 p.m. I don't think Michael Vick will be coaching that game, but we'll see on it. SEC Network Plus, and then SEC play starts. Arkansas comes to town January 4th, and then you're at Florida. So it gets real pretty quick. At Texas, Georgia at Vanderbilt, and you go along with Mississippi State at Auburn, January 25th. People are trying to say Auburn's better than Tennessee. We'll find out. I don't think, even if Tennessee wins that game, I don't think that tells the tale of if Auburn's better or not. Auburn's a really good team. The SEC is loaded in basketball this year. The big question is going to be what happens long term with it. What happens as the season goes along. For Tennessee, they're set up. As long as they don't get injuries, as long as you've got a solid 8-9 guys, you're good. Yeah, you really are. I mean, even in these years when Tennessee's had 12, 13 guys, it's not like they play them all anyway. So if you've got a healthy 8 or 9 guys who can contribute, you're good on that. They just cannot afford any of the injuries at this point. That's the biggest thing. And this is one too. Akpara and Igor, they have to stay out of foul trouble. All right. There's the SEC. They will definitely, I agree with this, they're going to run into big guys who will give them trouble. That was last year the same thing. We got in SEC play, and the games we had trouble was when we faced big guys. I mean, it is what it is. Boswell will be there. I'm going to translate this on T-Rex. Boswell will be there once his shoulder is better. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him holding him out till conference play. And it's not like Boswell's played a ton of minutes, but still yet at this point, I mean, you come in that Illinois game and he played, 7 minutes, had 3 offensive rebounds. We need every guy we can get at this point, especially with it's not like Carr's been playing anyway, but I think this team was expecting him back and expecting him to have a big role. Now he's in the portal. So, it is what it is with this team. And I think I'm really interested to see how they construct the roster next year with now Cam Carr hitting the portal. You got Boswell, you got Estrella, you got Cade Phillips, you got Akpara coming back. You've got your 2 signees coming in. You've got nothing else, man. You're going to have to build. Hopefully you can add some. There's still some guys out there in the high school ranks. Chance Mallory, Ament, Burries from California. There's still guys out there to add. So I hope they will be able to add some guys through the high school ranks on it. You're going to have to add some impact dudes out of the portal, though. There's no doubt about you're going to have at least, I think, a couple of scorers next year out of the portal because you're losing Lanier, you're losing Ziegler, Meshack, Dubar, Milicic. I mean, it's going to be a much different roster. Again, that's why it makes no sense to me that Cam Carr leaves because he would have been, to me, a focal point of this team next year. It is what it is. This is the era we're in college sports. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that these guys can leave before the season's over. It sucked with the playoffs. It sucks now with basketball. Why you would even do that? Whatever. I just don't have an answer for it, and probably I just need to quit talking about it because I'm just repetitious at this point. This Tennessee basketball team, to me, though, the toughest games I see on the schedule at Florida is going to be tough. At Auburn, January 25th. Now I'm looking at road games. There's good teams coming to Knoxville. I mean, Arkansas, Kentucky, Florida comes to Knoxville February 1st. Alabama comes to Knoxville March 1st. Tennessee concludes the season playing South Carolina at home. They're at Ole Miss March 5th, at Texas A&M February 22nd. I mean, at Kentucky February 11th. So it's a tough schedule. It's a tough conference this year. The bottom line for them is how do you finish along the way? The hope is I'm looking at this would kind of be funny on this. If Tennessee can do enough this year, get a number 1 seed, looking at the host places, if they're to get a number 1, they're going to have to either go to Raleigh, North Carolina, or Lexington, Kentucky. And that would be probably pretty hilarious for them to be a number 1 and have to go to Lexington for the first round of the tournament. That would be very interesting as far as where it goes. And then you've got hopefully they would get in the Atlanta region. There's Newark, New Jersey. There's San Francisco. There's Indianapolis. Of course, Final Four is in San Antonio. And hopefully we'll finally get to see this team in a Final Four this year as well. There's talent there. I think, again, the biggest thing to me, they cannot afford the injuries. I'm reading your post here, District 1. I appreciate you on that. I'm not going to highlight it because I'm not bringing attention to anyone other than here. But yes, thank you. Thank you for checking it out. I'm glad to be doing this thing on my own. It's what needed to happen on here. It didn't necessarily make a lot of people happy, but you know what? It is what it is. Is what it is here as well. But this is a good question here. I don't think this will affect this basketball team. Football, it can. I think it affects football with Miles Kitselman for sure. But I don't think it will affect basketball because everybody. Here's the weird thing. If this would have been put into effect last year, Dalton Connect could have returned this year because he played, a year of JUCO? So if this ruling with Pavia would have went into effect last year, Dalton Connect theoretically could have been on this team again this year. I think he made the right decision. Well, he didn't have any choice because he was out eligibility. And the NBA, for whatever reason, is, they're picking Connect late in the mid to late first round because of his age. And now JJ Redick has cut his minutes for whatever reason along the way, which made no sense. But that could have affected Tennessee in a big way last year, no doubt about it. I mean, if you look at Cameron Weston was a stud tonight. 24 points for them. Lands had 13. I mean, that was only two guys from Middle Tennessee who was in double digits along the way. Man, if we would have had Dalton Connect, Chaz Lanier, the improvement Jordan Gainey has made, I still think Milicic is going to be big along the way. It would have been huge. Would have been huge for this team. So yeah, that ruling, I don't know that Connect would have come back. I think it was kind of like the dude in baseball who transferred or who was going to transfer from Hofstra, but he was very upfront. He said, my window, I have to go he basically said I have to go if I get drafted, and he did because of his age, because the longer he stays, he's not gaining anything from it. It's kind of like Dylan Sampson with football. I don't know that Dylan Sampson coming back next year increases his stock any. I just don't. And it's a deep running back class, but does him coming back actually propel him up the draft boards anymore next year? I just think these pro teams, they look at it, these windows are a small amount of time. So when the opportunity is there, I think these guys have to go for sure. Gainey, man, he's there were signs early last year and then he fell off. And then now, I mean, this year he's been really good. And there were times last year, it's like who we could have really needed or could have really used an extra scorer. And most nights we didn't have it. We did have it up at Lexington. Connect was kind of held in check. Josiah Jordan James stepped up. But the fact this year, I mean, Chaz was out in foul trouble, fouled out against Illinois. Jordan Gainey carried that team in the second half. He's doing big things. We're looking good on basketball for this year. It's going to be real questionable what happens next year with so many losses. hopefully they can get more of there's some big-time prospects Tennessee's involved with who have not signed. If they can finish with those guys in it. And here's something with Tennessee athletics, more or less Rick Barnes and Josh Heupel. If you get these big-time high school guys, you're going to have to play them. All right? We've got to play them. Some football, we've got to play these guys because in football, we're saying Tennessee has to hit the portal so much. Well, one of two things is the problem then. Either we're not developing guys or our evaluations are off. Have a hard time believing we're that sorry at evaluating. So something has to change in that regard. With Rick Barnes and staff, these one and dones have not really been big things with Tennessee. None of them. I mean, Keon Johnson, Jaden Springer went up and got drafted in round 1. They've been bouncing around, though, the whole time. Kennedy Chandler, I think he's in the G League. Julian Phillips, maybe he's on the Bulls roster. I don't know, G League. But I don't know, man. We've got to get these young guys playing a bit more. You're going to see it with baseball this year. Tony Vitello just brought in an elite freshman class. These guys are going to play some. You're going to see at least one of those stud pitchers in the weekend rotation. Those position guys, it's going to be hard to keep them off the field. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying they will be on, everyday regulars, but there's a lot of really good players coming into that class this year as well. But, yeah, I agree with this one. Barnes, we've seen the last couple years, we're starting to see these guys improve offensively, and that's kind of where we're at. We're seeing a better offensive team. You look at the Ken Palm rankings. Let me pull that up here. I actually want to see where we're at. I'm going to hit your comment here in a minute, Bruce Pearl. I got you. Ken Palm has Tennessee ranked 3rd. Tennessee is 2nd in defensive rating, 14th offense. What can a Rick Barnes program do with this good of an offense? We've not had this good of an offense the whole time Barnes is there. 1 by 18 there, dude. Bruce Pearl does not need anywhere near Knoxville unless we're just drilling him. If Bruce Pearl ever comes back to Knoxville as Tennessee's coach, I'll throw my fan card in with it. I'll just say that now. I know there's people that would love to have him back. I don't ever want him anywhere near Knoxville again, unless it's as an opponent. I appreciate what he did, but he can go on. That time has passed at this point. Yep, scoring we still scored 82. Here's the thing of it. The first half tonight, not good. 40-34 at the half. That second half, pretty good, though. Pretty good. 48-24. That's a really good half of basketball to score almost 50 points for this team. We've had numerous first halves this year. The Virginia game comes to mind. I watched social media that night. The first half, people were, this is a 4 or 5 seed. This team's garbage. They don't have an offense. And then the second half happened. This team run Virginia out of the building. That's why you never freak out in the first half. Never at that point. And we'll wrap up on that one, guys. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Probably not much content coming the next 2 days with Christmas Eve, Christmas coming. I hope all you guys have a Merry Christmas. I hope you have safe travels if you're out there. One of the biggest Christmas gifts I've gotten this year is just the support from all of you guys out here supporting the channel, giving it the time of day, positive feedback, very positive feedback. We've had little to no negative feedback. Most negative feedback has come from another outlet that's not the most intelligent that's out there anyway. So, but I appreciate you guys, so much for the support as we've done so well this year. I'm going to wrap up again on that one. I said that already, but thank you for the support. You guys have a great day. Merry Christmas. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.